Imagine you're walking down the street and you find a crisp $100 bill lying on the sidewalk. How do you feel? You're ecstatic. It's a gift from the universe. That night, you take your friends out for a nice dinner and spend the entire $100 without a second thought. After all, it was free money, right? Now, imagine a different scenario. You spend 8 hours working a grueling overtime shift to earn that same $100. When you get the paycheck, do you rush out to blow it on a fancy dinner? Probably not. You're more likely to put it toward your electric bill or your savings. But here is the objective, mathematical truth, that $100 is exactly the same in both scenarios. Its purchasing power hasn't changed. Its value to your bank account is identical. So why does your brain treat them like two completely different things? Welcome to the world of mental accounting. This is one of the most pervasive, invisible, and destructive psychological traps in the world of personal finance. It is a concept pioneered by Nobel Prize-winning economist Richard Thaler, and it explains why perfectly rational people make incredibly irrational decisions with their money every single day. Mental accounting is the reason you'll drive 10 miles out of your way to save $5 on a gallon of milk, but then turn around and spend $50 on an impulse buy at the checkout counter. It's the reason people carry thousands of dollars in high-interest credit card debt while simultaneously keeping thousands of dollars in a low-interest emergency fund. It is the process of categorizing money into different mental folders based on where it came from, what it's intended for, or how it makes us feel. And while it might seem harmless, this psychological quirk is likely costing you thousands, if not tens of thousands, of dollars over your lifetime. To understand why we do this, we have to look at how our brains evolved. For most of human history, we didn't deal with abstract currency. We dealt with tangible resources. We had food, we had shelter, and we had tools. You couldn't trade your shelter for food very easily, so our brains developed a system for keeping these resources separate. In the modern world, we've applied that same primitive logic to money. We create mental buckets. We have the rent money bucket, the vacation bucket, the bonus bucket, and the found money bucket. The problem is that money is fungible. Fungibility is a fancy economic term that simply means every dollar is interchangeable. A dollar from your salary is exactly the same as a dollar from a tax refund, or a dollar won on a scratch-off ticket. But our brains refuse to see it that way. We assign different levels of seriousness to different dollars. The most dangerous form of mental accounting happens with windfall gains. This is any money that comes to you outside of your regular expected income. Things like tax refunds, birthday gifts, bonuses, or even an inheritance. Because this money didn't come from your hard work bucket, your brain categorizes it as play money. This is why casinos give you chips instead of cash. Once you trade your hard-earned bills for plastic circles, your brain performs a mental accounting shift. Those chips are no longer money, they are house credits. You become much more willing to gamble them away because they occupy a different mental folder. Retailers do the exact same thing with gift cards and store credits. They know that if they give you a $20 reward for spending $100, you are almost guaranteed to spend that $20 on something you don't need, rather than using it to offset the cost of something you were already going to buy. But the windfall trap is just the tip of the iceberg. Mental accounting also explains the credit card paradox. This is a phenomenon where a person might have $5,000 in a savings account, earning 1% interest, while also carrying a $5,000 balance on a credit card charging 20% interest. Mathematically, this is insane. You are literally paying the bank 19% interest for the privilege of holding onto your own money. If you took that savings and paid off the card, you would be instantly wealthier by the amount of interest you're no longer paying. So why don't people do it? Because in their minds, that $5,000 is safety money. It's in the emergency bucket. They feel that if they use it to pay off the debt, they will be broke, even though they are currently more than broke because of the interest. Their mental accounting system values the labels on the buckets more than the actual math of the money. Another common trap is the comparison bias within mental accounting. Think about this. Would you walk 20 minutes to save $20 on a $50 calculator? Most people would. Now, would you walk 20 minutes to save $20 on a $2,000 laptop? Most people wouldn't. Why? The $20 is the same. The 20 minutes is the same. But in the first case, you're saving 40% of the purchase price. In the second case, you're saving only 1%. Our mental accounting system evaluates the saving relative to the total cost, rather than the value of our time. We treat small purchases with more scrutiny than large ones, which is why people will spend hours researching the best price on a toaster, but then sign a mortgage with a slightly higher interest rate that will cost them $60,000 over 30 years. We lose sight of the absolute value because we are too focused on the relative percentage within that specific mental folder. This also plays out in how we handle small wins versus big losses. We tend to integrate small losses into a larger purchase. This is why car salesmen are so good at upselling you on paint protection or extended warranties for an extra $15 a month. When you're already spending $40,000, another few hundred feels like a rounding error. It gets swallowed up by the big purchase folder. However, if that same salesman knocked on your door a week later and asked you to give him $500 for paint protection, you'd tell him to get lost. The cost is the same, but because it's no longer attached to the big purchase mental account, it stands alone as a large loss, and your brain rejects it. So, how do we break the cycle? How do we stop our brains from sabotaging our wealth with these invisible folders? The first step is to embrace the concept of fungibility. You have to train yourself to see every dollar as a soldier. It doesn't matter if that soldier was drafted from your paycheck or volunteered from a tax refund. Its job is the same. Its job is to build your net worth, pay down your debt, and secure your future. When you receive a windfall, wait. Don't spend it immediately. Force that play money to sit in your serious money account for 30 days. Once the newness wears off, the mental accounting shift will settle, and you'll be much more likely to use it wisely. The second step is to consolidate your buckets. If you have debt, your savings isn't actually savings. It's just a high-interest loan you're giving to yourself. Stop looking at your emergency fund as a sacred cow if you're bleeding interest elsewhere. Realize that a zero-balance credit card is its own kind of emergency fund. By paying off the debt, you free up cash flow that can rebuild your savings much faster. You have to break down the walls between your mental folders and look at your total net worth as one single number. Finally, stop the relative math. Before you spend or save, stop asking, what percentage of the total is this? And start asking, how many hours of my life is this worth? When you stop comparing a dollar to the price of the item and start comparing it to the value of your time, the mental accounting fog begins to lift. You'll start seeing that the $20 you save on a laptop is worth exactly as much as the $20 you save on a calculator. Mental accounting is a tool our brains use to simplify a complex world, but in the world of modern finance, it is a tool that is frequently turned against us. Marketers, banks, and casinos all rely on your mental accounting to keep you spending. They want you to keep your money in folders because folders are easier to manipulate. When you break those folders down, you take back control. You start making decisions based on math, not on moods. Remember, your bank account doesn't care where the money came from, and neither should you. Every dollar is an opportunity. Stop labeling them and start using them. Because at the end of the day, it's not about how much money you make. It's about how you perceive the money you have. Break the buckets, consolidate your power, and stop letting your brain's invisible folders keep you from the wealth you deserve.